everybody. Welcome to the Tribe Presents. Today we have Amy Camie with us. She is a certified clinical musician. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Woo! I did it. Um, she is a beautiful harp player. The music, the person, the soul, everything is just amazing. We met on Coaching Queens on our other show that I do with Joan. We were talking about inner peace, and with the youth group, we are so much about healing, but of acceptance, of loving who we are, all the layers of who we are. And some of those are bright yellow and bright red, and we ooze them. And other ones were like, ooh, that's sticky and gray. I don't want to do that. So we can't really be whole, though, until we accept all of that. And I know a lot of what you do, you use the visuals with the harp and the music, and it ties into what the tribe stands for. And one of our big logos at the tribe, beyond that one back there, which is a combination of my coaching program and my husband's restaurant, is also a rainbow. Very much inclusive, diversity. LGBTQ is definitely what that associates to, but I'm finding more and more with youth and adults that the rainbow speaks to us in our heart. So you have a story, and I love this one. So I would invite you, if you would please share this with us, because it's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for creating the space for these kinds of conversations. It's a joy to be here. So I do public speaking, and I talk about vibrational resonance and the healing power of music and conscious self-care. And years ago, when our youngest son was 8, long time ago, I was getting ready to go speak. And he said, Mommy, I need to draw you a picture. And when a child says, I need to draw you a picture, I mean, I knew that it was just coming through. And this, as a good mom, of course, I laminated it.
Of course. That's what we do.
This is the actual picture, and I'll try to make it so it doesn't glare over the lamination. And I looked at this and I said, honey, what is this? And he said, well, that's the Rainbow Pyramid. And I look at this and I said, oh my gosh, Justin, this is everything I talk about, because this Rainbow Pyramid is a reflection of all of those different colors inside of us. And all of those different colors, in my interpretation, how I visualize this, it's all of the energy inside of us. It's all of our feelings and thoughts and beliefs and fears and dreams and emotions. It's everything that we hold inside our body energetically, because everything has an energy, is an energy. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh my gosh, the Rainbow Pyramid. We are the Rainbow Pyramid. And so in order to find our balance, these are yin yangs. It's a symbol for balance. In order to find our balance, we need to address all the colors, address and embrace all of the colors in our Rainbow Pyramid from a place of joy and gratitude and not fear, in order to live our love and share our love.
Oh, that is so, I got goosies.
I know, it's just so beautiful. And so here's what happens. Our colors get squished. So for example, this is a really simple explanation for me. We all have these experiences, okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm 9 years old, I'm playing piano, I'm singing, and my dad, both of my parents are music teachers, my dad peeks around the corner and he jokingly, this was not with any kind of malice, but he just jokingly said, hey, Amy, why don't you stick to playing piano?
No.
So my 9-year-old little girl who adores her father heard him say, interpreted it as, Amy, you can't sing. Don't sing anymore, just play piano. Now, he didn't mean that, but that's what I heard. And that's how I interpreted it at the time. So my singing, my love for singing got squished. My
Wow.
color got squished. So we have all of these squished colors inside of us. And it's part of being human. It's just, that's life. That's
Mhm.
life. And life, we learn a lot. We go through a lot of lessons, and it's not all happy. But
Mm.
depending on how we are aware of it. So I had this squished color in me for years. All right.
Mhm.
Until I started writing music. And this was like 40 years later. And I'm just, all these beautiful songs are coming through with words. And I'm pissed because I believe that I can't sing them because of my
Oh.
squished color, because of that belief that I hold inside of me. So what happens is that all of a sudden I start meeting new friends, and these friends have beautiful voices. And now I get to see them in front of me, and I get to feel what's waking up inside of me,
Mm.
because I have to ask them to sing my song. It doesn't feel good.
Mm-mm.
That energy, it doesn't feel good because that's an old belief. And I didn't know where it was coming from. And so that's what I call turn the mirror. Turn the mirror and look at yourself. I needed to look at myself. I needed to look inside. And I needed to be really honest and allow myself to remember, oh, yeah, that's when that happened. That's when that color got squished. Because my dad says something and I interpreted it in the only way I could at the time. But now I'm older and now I can see it in a different way.
Mhm.
And I can go in and I can give that little girl a hug who's really sad
Mhm.
inside of me. And I can assure her that it's okay. You can sing if you want, you can use your voice. It's okay. And so that color in my rainbow pyramid then started to wake up and started to shine more. And so that's how, for me, this this picture helps me live every day, because I want to share my love with
Mhm.
myself. I want to love myself first, because that way all my music, everything that I create and share with other people will be filled with that love. That's what's going to be flowing through everything I create. And we're creating all the time. Everything that we express doesn't have to be music, it's our voices. It's like a highway. It's like everything that brings that which is within us out into the world. We are constantly creating these highways of connection. So through our words, through our touch, through our eyes, through our listening, we're constantly creating these highways of connection that bring that which is within us out into the world.
That's incredible, especially when you put it that way. So, one of the things that we focus on in the tribe is learning to love ourselves, acceptance. You know, it everybody has a journey. We're all here. We are extremely individual. And when we pass judgment on someone else after seeing them for 3 seconds,
Mhm.
so essentially, when we do that, or we verbally criticize them, we're not sharing love. We're just throwing more at them, squishing their color,
Mhm.
which is super frustrating because then, and I catch myself doing that too. I mean, we're all human. Yes.
I want to
So
share this.
it's that exchange of energy. So when we actually compliment someone, we're helping to light up their colors by sharing that love that's in ourselves.
If they're willing to accept it, because
Okay.
we can't make somebody else feel a certain way.
Ah.
But what we can do is be responsible for ourselves. So we can be responsible for how we are expressing, how we are communicating, but we don't have any responsibility or ability to determine how somebody else is going to respond.
Okay.
All right. And we also have a responsibility for how we respond to other people. So let me give you a demonstration that helps. This is how I see it. And again, I just want to give everybody permission. If any of this doesn't make sense or just is way, it's okay. This is just my perspective. Okay. And I'm a musician. And so I've kind of grown into this type of language. And this is how I see the world. And I just like to share it.
Yes.
If you like it, great. If not, it's okay. I'm not taking it personally.
I was just going to say, that's the other trick, is not taking things personal.
That's right. Okay. So everything has its own energy. All right. We'll just make it really simple. All right. So this tuning fork, it was created to sing or make a sound when it's 440 hertz. That's like the measurement of this sound. Okay. And this tuning fork has the same frequency. It's called a frequency.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to strike it. And when I strike it, it's going to start to move. And in the movement, it's going to create these sound waves. It's going to move through the air. The air is the medium, okay, that the sound is moving through. Okay. And then I'm going to put this one right next to it. Okay. But I'm not going to strike it. I'm just going to put it right next to it. Okay, let's see what happens. Wait. Can you hear it?
Yeah, that's cool.
It's very cool. I'm going to do another one.
Okay.
And after I put it next to it, I'm going to hold the strings, because sometimes the strings start to hum too. But so this tuning fork is different. Okay. It's not 440. It's a different frequency. Okay. Okay. Let's try this. Wait. Can you hear it? No, nothing happens. Whoa. Okay. This idea is I love this idea. This concept is called sympathetic vibration. Sympathetic vibration. And what that means is when two objects of the same frequency, right, come into close proximity to each other, they get close enough to share those same airwaves. They create what we call a resonant system, or they begin to sing together. Oh. Okay, because they're sharing the same airwaves. This one's.
That is so cool.
Okay. But the key thing here is that it has to be the same frequency. When I did it with this one, even though it was a tuning fork, it was a different frequency, so it didn't move. It wasn't affected by what was moving through the air.
And no matter what you do, you can't force it to do it either.
Right.
Okay.
Because tuning forks and objects and things, they have what we call free resonance. They are free from any outside influence.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they just kind of stand alone, and here we go. And unless it's the same frequency, and then they'll say, oh yeah, let's sing together.
Yeah.
Okay. But people and the plants and wind and animals and things that grow and things that move, we have a multitude of different frequencies inside of us, or because we have all these different feelings. We have different body parts, and the bones and the organs and our thoughts and our hair, and we are full. Right. It's like this harp. Okay. Say every single string here represented a different feeling. Okay. Or thought, or memory, or experience, or whatever it is. Okay. And they all exist, and they're all different frequencies. So these are like all different tuning forks, all different strings, all different pitches. They have, okay, they have a different frequency, they have a different pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And we have low ones,
Mm-hmm.
and we have high ones.
Okay.
All right. And on the harp, is this low string any better or worse than this high string?
No.
No. That's why, from this perspective, I don't use the word good and I don't use the word bad.
That's awesome.
Because that's a judgment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I use the words low and high.
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Because we all have these low experiences.
Mm-hmm.
My dad saying, stick to playing piano. That was, and that, especially at that time, that was a very low experience for me.
Yes.
It didn't feel supportive. It hurt. I was confused.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all have a lot of different experiences in our life
Mm-hmm.
that we would perhaps identify as like low. Like we don't want to remember it. It's too painful. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how to process it. I didn't know what it meant. But yet they're still part of us. And for me, these low strings create the richness of who we are. You know,
Yeah.
I went through breast cancer twice. And was it easy? No. Was it painful? Yes. Did I learn a lot? You bet. Am I stronger for it? Yes. Did I discover aspects about myself that I would have never discovered had I not gone through that experience? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did I accept it with a sense of gratitude? Yes, mostly.
You
You
probably
know, that's
had your
very,
moments. I mean,
and I got there eventually. But the whole idea about that is, you know, embracing the fullness of who we are, embracing all the colors of our rainbow pyramid. And the cool thing is, like, we're so full. I don't care how old you are, you still have a lot of experiences and a lot of feelings and a lot of beliefs and a lot of dreams and a lot of fears, and it's all right here inside of our bodies in every single moment. Okay?
yes.
In every single moment. Now here's the cool part. Remember the sympathetic vibration?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a saying in our house. If it triggers you, it's in you.
Yes.
Because if I'm feeling something inside, it's because it's inside me.
Yes.
Because it's the same frequency. It's waking up. It's energy that's starting to move. And when we feel that energy starting to move inside of us, a lot of times we don't know what to do with it. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times people blame the other person. Oh, you make me feel like that. Or you bring me down. Or you do that. Or you do that. Or you do that. And really what's happening, if we're really honest,
Mm-hmm.
is that we're feeling it inside of ourselves. And we just might not be ready to look at it yet.
Oh, so in that moment, we're trying to push that off and get that out. That's wow. That's incredible. Like,
Yeah.
whoa. I had so much just run through my head, and all the times I've watched people, point and scream. And now I'm like, oh,
They were the ones in pain.
yeah, something was waking up, but they weren't ready for that. So it was, here,
Right.
you take it. And I'm like, I do, you know?
Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. So people who like when and I always just talk about myself from these perspectives because I never want to assume for anyone
Right.
else. but I use myself as an example,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can take it how you want. But for example, I used to play harp in a chemotherapy infusion unit. That's where people actually, they're going through cancer treatment and they're getting a drug put into their
Right.
body. Okay. And at that point, my belief about that was that chemotherapy was poison. And I would sit there and I would play harp music and I would think to myself, how do those people just sit there and let that poison just be put into their body?
Mm-hmm.
I was judging them. All right. Based upon limited knowledge, based
Right.
upon limited experience personally.
Mm-hmm.
It was very shallow. It wasn't based on anything other than, I probably heard somebody say chemotherapy was poison.
Right.
That was it. And then I was diagnosed.
Oof.
And I had to talk to my doctor about me receiving chemotherapy. So I was on the other side of that equation. And I realized, I got more information. I
Mm-hmm.
felt supported by my physician. I felt comfortable in my decision. And I did decide to do chemotherapy. And I shifted my belief about it in the way that was comfortable for me. So I would be in alignment within myself. But the
Yes.
whole point of that is that experience helped me look at all the other judgments that I had.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at somebody else, when I look at somebody else and I immediately judge,
Mm-hmm.
I turn the mirror and I ask myself, oh, what am I afraid of? When was I like that?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just start asking myself those questions so I can get really honest and realize, oh, it's not about them, it's about me. So when somebody judges us, it's never about you. It's
It
always
truly,
about them.
it truly isn't personal.
Right.
That is such a beautiful way to frame that. That's one of the areas where trying to help someone understand how it's not personal, because we all do, like, sometimes words cut straight to our heart, and again it could be lighting up that energy in us, like we're like, ow, that actually kind of hurt. Or
Mhm.
when we're young at 9, and I've heard, and I look back at some of the things I've said to my kids when they were little, and I'm like, ooh, I I really could have said something more constructive, more loving in that moment, but at the time I didn't see that, and now I do. So now I'm much more mindful in how I speak
Mhm.
to other people. One thing that my ex-husband said to me one time, and it clicked, and I couldn't really figure out why, and I think this might be why now, is that when you blame someone else and you point that finger, you've got 3 other fingers pointed back at you. So even though you've got that one forward, you also need to consider what the 3 are pointing back. And it clicked, but it didn't click.
Mhm.
It
It
just
takes it takes a lot of courage to turn the mirror and look at ourselves this way. So our family, one of the things that helped us, and we have 3 generations in our family. Okay, so
okay.
my husband's 25 years older than I am, and
Mm-hmm.
then we had 2 boys. So we are, even though we're aware that like family patterns cycle
Yes.
down, we're like Italian and Greek, and we're very explosive and very expressive and
Oh,
creative
yes.
and you know um and we use the book The Four Agreements.
I love that book.
Yeah, that really
Oh,
helped us. That helped
yeah.
us as a family. And if your listeners are not familiar with it, I highly recommend it, because it's by Don Ruiz, Ruiz. um
Yes.
it, one of the agreements is don't take anything personally, and
Mm-hmm.
it goes into why. And again, it goes back to, like, we are so full of our own stories, right? We are so full of our own experiences, and everyone is so full of their own experiences, and we bring it all into every moment. Of course, there's going to be some
Oh, yeah.
pathetic vibration happening. Of course.
Yes.
And so the more we are able personally to have the courage to go in and recognize these low feelings, thoughts, beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
to feel these colors within our rainbow pyramid, and recognize perhaps when the experience happened that squished it, that
Mm-hmm.
color, that hooked it, that's the little trigger point.
Yes.
The more we're doing our own self-reflection and embracing the fullness of who we are from this place of gratitude and learning about ourselves and our strengths that we learned and how we grew through all of those experiences, then that opens that love for ourselves. And then we just be it. We just emanate that, and
Yes.
people feel it. And then when somebody says something mean, we understand that they're saying that out of their pain.
Mm-hmm.
They're not saying that necessarily. The easiest way for them to relieve their pain is to say that and move that energy out through those words, because they are expressing what is within them.
Yes. And it's letting that pressure off so that color can actually open back up inside of them.
Well, for them, they're keeping it squished because they don't want to look at it.
Oh, true.
It takes a lot of energy to keep down energy. It's like, I'm not going to come up. I don't want to look at that. Let me just vomit on somebody else,
I've done that a few times.
We all have in the moment. But for me, this is the energetic piece that triggers it and then moves the energy. So if we are on the other side of that, if somebody is saying those things to us, now I'm able to see the little boy, or I'm able to see the hurt little girl
Mm-hmm.
who's really saying that. It's not the adult that's standing in front of me in the moment, or if it's not that student or that other child or that friend who's standing in front of us in the moment.
Yes.
It's about what happened to them.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Holy
So for
cow.
me, that builds compassion for ourselves and empathy for other people.
Yes. That is huge right there. Instead of sympathizing and then exchanging that, you can actually empathize and help filter that. And oh, wow. I can't wait till next Tuesday when we have another meeting.
And the other thing that happens then is like what they're expecting, like, and if
Yes.
this isn't here and it just opens, there's no place for that energy to go. And then it dissipates, and then it just gets less sometimes. And often, I mean, I can't tell you how many people have like sat with me and said, I've never told anybody this before in my life. Because when we're not judging ourselves, like
Mm-hmm.
when we go in and we embrace all those aspects of ourselves, if we don't judge ourselves, then other people don't feel judged
Oh, yes.
and they feel safe. And isn't it all about safety? We want to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be part of the group. That's primal. Like that's tribal. That's ancestral. If we weren't part of the group, we would die.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it goes really, really, really deep.
It does. That is powerful. Wow. Like I lost count of how many aha moments I just had, and I can't wait to talk to the kids after this because I'm gonna be like, you guys. And they love learning this stuff too because it helps them not get those squish colors as much as many of us have gotten it. And it helps bring this awareness. And this is so powerful and so necessary right now, especially the four agreements has me just my mind is blown right now because we actually base the guidelines for the entire group off that book.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we follow is okay, are we judging, are we thinking it's personal, and it helps us take that step out of that moment, and we get into some really deep conversations. It's so beautiful, and they're going to love this because Amy, they love your music already. We meditate to it. We go down to the park. I put a ban on the electronics when we're doing, when we're sitting and we're connecting just with everything around us. But then in order to play your music, I do have to bring out the phone and the speaker, and then they call me on it. And I'm like, guys, let's not get technical right now.
There are always exceptions, right?
There is. And I'm like, if we could have her here, we would. But at the moment, she's in St. Louis. So that's just not happening here in Wisconsin. But this is seriously powerful stuff. And the fact that your 8-year-old son, this is so huge. And just looking at the harp too, I just realized it's the shape of a pyramid, and it's got
like a heart too.
Oh, it is. Oh, so it's love and oh my Lord. This is so amazing. This is so beautiful. And like I have goosies again. Holy cow. I love this. This is so amazing when I get to share space and share energy of this level with someone else and then get to share it with the world on top of it. So if you don't mind, Amy, I will be putting all of your contact information on everything so people can get a hold of you as well, because you've got an incredible website. You've got spaces where we can find your music and share in that energy that you share with the rest of the world. And everybody, seriously, she speaks for like everybody, so you can always get a hold of her too and bring her in and have her talk to your group and share space. And this is the second time I've gotten to talk to you, and I love it. This totally made my day.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what, thank you so much. I mean, I love sharing this perspective because everyone is affected by sympathetic vibration because we're human beings.
Yes.
And for me, my mind just went, whoa, when it clicked from this interpersonal relationship, from this relationship standpoint with ourselves and other people. So it just makes sense for me. It might not click for everybody, but
right. And like you said, because it resonates on different levels for everyone, but it's just so beautiful to see music used in this way. Like this is what it's about right here.
So can I play just for a little bit?
Please do. That would be wonderful.
All right. So when I sit down and I play, I never know what's going to come out.
Awesome.
It's just this highway. So but it feels really fun. I mean, it feels, I'm so grateful. All right, let's see.
Oh, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much.
It just kind of felt like a park.
Oh, yes. I'm so warm and fuzzy, and it's all like coming from right here in the heart.
Yeah.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Amy, for joining us today. This was absolutely beautiful. I hope it inspires other people. I hope it resonates. I hope it helps give that click and that aha moment, whether you're a teenager, a parent, a grandparent, it doesn't matter. We're all here together in this journey, in this experience. And you can reach out to any of us. I will make sure all of our contact information is listed in the info and whatever other space the platforms give me at this moment, because it's hard to keep track. Editing's not really my forte, but I am enjoying figuring it out and learning the process. So, Amy, thank you so much for joining us and sharing space and sharing your beautiful gift of being able to play with us. So,
you're so welcome.
All right. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to either one of us, and we hope you have a very blessed and wonderful day. Bye.